any of you are interested in, we're going to look through that. Those of you that chose to do before and after photos, we finish our last weigh-in is, Jessica, you said on the 10th, correct?
The 10th is the last
The
meeting.
10th. And we're going to consider the 10th kind, well, I will have to wait to announce. We got to figure out maybe having a get-together when we get the winners and all that happy fun stuff. But if you do want your photo, I haven't had a chance, I've got it up on my screen, but I haven't had a chance to see who was interested in the before and after pictures.
Yeah,
so if you were not signed up, let me know that. We have a few t-shirts left. If anybody else is interested in that, I probably will use those as some prizes. That's the paperwork stuff. So, congratulations. Let me give you a quick spiel on the food. And I heard some really cool things last group. What you have today is the combination of the Oiko and the Chobani Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt, if you get used to eating Greek yogurt, other yogurt is going to taste like pudding. The Greek yogurt has that nice, it has better enzymes in it. It just has that nice, more of a, zesty is the only word I can think of, a fuller taste. Also in there is the vanilla drops, the stevia. That's what was used for sweetener. I think the vanilla yogurt might have a little sweetening in it. And then chopped, if you want to get something to get you through a sweet craving, I buy the Dole. Those are Dole frozen black cherries. I even forget what a bag like this is, 3-something. And you keep them in the freezer and you actually eat them frozen. They're awesome. It takes a while to eat them. They are sweet, the benefits. Cherries are so good for inflammation, fabulous for inflammation. But it's a great treat if you need something sweet to get you through. And those, so we have the chopped black cherries in there. And then what we'll talk a little bit about today is we also have the chia seeds. If you want just to start passing that around that and chia, that's what the seeds are from.
Is that in the yogurt? Is it really?
That's in the yogurt.
You can't even taste it.
No, and the thing with the chia, as I told the group before you, chia will gelatinize. Chia turns into tapioca-ish. Okay, with that kind of consistency? I had been comparing it to caviar, but many people would be like, what? I like comparing stuff. But, so with the yogurt, that's why I eat it with yogurt, because it has that. When a few months ago, I had brought them to talk about on the radio, and Heather took like a tablespoon and put them in her mouth, and I didn't even know that much. I had never tried them before, but I knew that they were supposed to be good for you. Well, they all started like in her mouth. Oh yeah, I did that. And then she's got them all in her teeth. You don't eat chia seeds that way. They're so funny. They're great in a smoothie also because then they've got that deal. They're smooth. So try them in yogurt or try them in a smoothie. And I say smoothie, but what I really want you to think of is more doing of the juicing, and when you do your blended drinks, try to get a handful of spinach. That's my next week's goal, to do once a day a combination of spinach, a handful of spinach, some form of a nut, and I may use it, and we'll talk about the hemp in just a second, something nut-based, and then a fruit of some type, and celery, to have that once a day. And that is, I was just listening to David Wolf, and he was just saying how beneficial that can be for your body, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So, congratulations to everybody. This is so cool. I mean, now we have 2 more weigh-ins, so you can still get in there and make it happen. Several people obtained their golds from last week. I gotta grab my handles here. So, before we get, I'm gonna have Jess show. I was a little the YouTube that we have has some really good information. It's only a little over 3 minutes. She's tried to sell her book, and I may take a look at that and buy her book. It has some good information. It's all about superfoods, but it would be silly for me to buy another book because I probably got 20 superfood books already. So we're going to watch that, and she gives you some information about walnuts, about cabbage, and there's something else in there. But it kind of cuts off. I thought she gave the whole superfood list, but she didn't. It's a teaser to get you to buy her book. But I'll give you more information on the other products. So we're going to watch that, and then we'll talk a little bit about, before we watch that, let me just quickly go through what I have for handouts. We're going to talk a little bit about flexibility. I've used this one. There's several, couple of different flexibility routines that I've used. These are great, and we'll talk about why flexibility and how important that is. And then this Dirty Dozen, I was watching something, or something caught my eye, and I Googled Dirty Dozen. I knew it had something to do with organic. And what it is if you're trying to figure out how to spend your organic dollars, because it is more expensive, the top 12 are the ones to spend your money on, because they are the most affected by the pesticides and toxic things that are in our soil and everything else. So if you have a choice to spend your money on to go organic, choose the top 12. The bottom 12 are the ones that are least impacted by the environment. So that's just a little FYI. Next week we're going to have the cranberry Waldorf salad, which just looks really good to me. A really nice combination of all the things that we've talked about. On the back is hemp butter. We'll talk about hemp seeds today. And that's it for the handouts. So Jess, if you want to run that now, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, and I'm just going to give you a little
healing superfoods. We often hear about what we should not eat, but how often do they talk about healing foods on the evening news? There are many foods available that are not only good sources of nutrients, but they can help our bodies to heal and may prevent some diseases altogether. The list that follows is a tiny sample from my book called Most Powerful Healing Superfoods. My desire is to make all consumers more aware of foods that are important for our overall health and that can add years to our lives. Okay, first up, walnuts, a truly heart-healthy food. Up until recently, walnuts were considered bad for your health due to their fat content. However, now that scientists know more about the types of fat and their impact, nuts, especially walnuts, are back on the good list. With their high levels of omega-3 fatty acids, walnuts stand out from other nuts. Japanese studies show that people who ate 1/4 to 1/3 cup of walnuts every day reduce their LDL, or bad cholesterol, by as much as 10%. The component in walnuts and pistachios and almonds that make them so beneficial is a high level of arginine. An amino acid, arginine is known to improve cardiac blood flow. More info in my book. Cabbage, a cruciferous vegetable known for anti-cancer properties. Cabbage is turning out to be a standout among the cruciferous veggies fighting breast cancer. One study determined Polish women who ate sauerkraut, fermented cabbage, and cabbage more than 4 times weekly had a hugely reduced risk of breast cancer, 74% less to be exact. Studies also determined that cabbage may be beneficial in providing protection from colon, stomach, and lung cancer. Cabbage contains sulforaphane, a phytochemical superagent that causes cells to eradicate cancerous substances. If the thought of ingesting cabbage 4 times a week is revolting, try adding it to salads and soups at least once a week. More info in my book. Whole grains. According to the American Dietetic Association, or ADA, whole grains are now believed to be as beneficial as fruits and vegetables for protection against diabetes, heart disease, and certain cancer forms. Whole grains contain large amounts of phytonutrients. According to researchers at the University of Minnesota, 3 servings per day of whole grains may decrease your risk of stroke by 37%, heart disease by 25 to 36%, and type 2 diabetes by 21 to 27%. Always select foods whose first ingredients are described as whole as opposed to enriched or fortified. Whole grains are those foods such as bran, brown rice, algar, whole wheat, and oats, among others. More info in my book. Well, there is much more to say about these and other even more powerful healing superfoods, all of which are found in my Most Powerful Healing Superfoods book. The information in the book will provide you with what you need to improve your diet, sharpen your mind, increase your energy, and increase your healthy years on Earth. Click the link to the right for more info.
This reminds me, did any of you ever watch Dr. Phil? I don't want to, and yet I still do. But he always, if he promotes that book one more time, in my book, every single show for the last 2 or 3, more than that months, and my son happens to be the, so that's what that reminded me of. This little recipe here for the Stars lemonade, this is a great cleanse. That we have up there. It's different. If you can't tolerate the cayenne pepper will rev up your metabolism. But it actually tastes good, and you drink it warm because you absorb it more efficiently. It can be stored in the refrigerator and then heated up. But like anything, if you use a fresh lemon right away, as you squeeze it, there will be more antioxidants, and the fresher you eat your fruits or your squeezed juices, the more you will naturally absorb them. So I think it's a good thing. For years I've used that from time to time. And the quick note on cleansing, I mentioned one of my girlfriends has been on a cleansing frenzy, and she's doing Arbonne cleansing, she's doing teas, and she's been sick really a lot lately. I think she's over cleansing. We discussed this on Sunday. Cleansing is a delicate thing. It's good to cleanse your body with real food because you shouldn't have to cleanse if you're consuming a good diet. Yes?
So when you do something like this, is that the only thing that you do, or can you eat?
Oh yeah.
Days that you
Well,
do?
they actually have, if you look this
Because
up,
I've seen
there's,
this before, they're like, just do this.
yeah,
and
they'll say do
nothing
it
else.
for X amount of days.
Because I have done this before. though.
Yeah, and it's a good, no, I just added to the diet. The juicing cleanse that I did in the beginning of the year, that was 7 strict days of just juicing. But the only reason I did that was because I knew that it was very nutritionally sound. I had great fatty acids, protein, and everything else with that cleanse, not just juice. So yeah, this is a good thing to add to your diet. And also in the morning, have it warm, the warm lemon water. I put a little stevia in it, and I drink it before I have coffee, and it just gets that puffiness. It takes care of the puffy. I just said, oh, I have a recipe too. They just showed the nuts in the end. If I remember, just you think to remind me. It's called wine bar nuts, and I've used it. I think I might have used it in our last weight loss program. It is so good. You take all different nuts, mixed nuts, unsalted, or preferably whole, pecans, walnuts, whatever. And then it calls for maple syrup. You mix maple syrup with whatever spices you like. I use parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, like the song. And you mix them in there, then you mix it on the nuts, and then you just lightly bake it. You can't bake nuts too much because you damage the oils in them if you do. But then it has that sweet, salty, it is awesome. So I have that recipe. I know I've got it in my in my documents. So I'll pull that up for you, but it's just a really good way to eat some healthy nuts that have that little hint of sweet, but the hint of sweet is from a good product. So hemp seeds. The hemp seeds, if you didn't try, are over there, and if you want to just take a little scoop of those, try them. I thought they were really good flavor. They're just a real mild, nutty flavor.
Is that the green stuff?
No, the sprouts, I'm glad you mentioned that.
I think it's
the
the nuts are right there.
sprouts,
Oh, yeah,
Is this the hemp here?
that's the hemp, yes. And the sprouts are sunflower hemps, or sunflower seeds sprouted. I was at the health food store yesterday, and I picked those up. I called them to see what they had as far as sprouts go. Sprouts are really good for us, like on top of your salads, but you have to be really careful buying sprouts. I only buy organic sprouts because that would be one of my dirty dozen. Because sprouts and soil, I don't use soil. I just know that there have been tainted sprouts, but I like the alfalfa sprouts on top of the salad or in the sandwich. It just gives it a really nice flavor, and the nutritional value again. It's like the most nutrient. You know when a bean grows, think about, or a baby grows, that little bit at first. That's really high in all kinds of good nutritional value. So that's why I brought those along, and plus they're just something else fun for us to take to eat. I've been seeing changes in everybody. This is really, really wonderful to see. One of the really cool things that was shared last group was you have to the big picture of everything we're doing here is all about fueling our bodies with more nutrition, getting the junk out. I read last night, I'm continuing into the book, and it's really boring, the salt, fat, and sugar, but he's going step by step how the manufacturers have done food industry. And it's like step by step. And one of the big supporters was the, who was the cigarette manufacturer? Who did Marlboro? When whatever group it was, they bought out one of the big companies, food companies, and that's when things really started changing, using the same strategies as cigarette smoking. So it's interesting but boring, but still good information. So what was I going to say on that note? What did I look at? Come on, someone help me get back. Get her back. She's off on a tangent. I can't remember. Oh, the changes. One of the ladies has lost, she's lost somewhere, I'm sure, around 12 or more pounds, changing her diet. Just strictly came in here and said, I need to eat healthier, I'm a junk eater, and I need to eat healthier. She's lost the weight. She now was sitting with her sister yesterday. She and her sister never could smell. They just, it must be something with them. They didn't have a sense of smell. And she's sitting next to her sister. She says, I've been noticing all these smells. She says, I've never smelled before. I truly have to believe it's something that she's doing with her diet, without a doubt. But she said next to her sister, she says, you had a cigarette. She said, I did not, I don't smoke. And she said, I can smell. She says, you can't smell. You're her sister. She smelled, she says, I never have smelled smoke on someone until now. So something's going on that I think is, we both had goosebumps. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. That's the big picture. That's what it's all about. Berries are beautiful for your eyes. Keeping a lot of berries in your diet. Cherries, which the black cherries in here that we use, very good for inflammation. If you eat a diet that has all the good stuff in it, you don't have to do all that supplementation. And I don't believe in that anyway. But eating the real stuff is what's going to give your body what it needs. So hemp seeds, those are the little ones. They are, there's all kinds of good things about them. I'll just give you a couple different things about them. Let's see. They have the perfect blend of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids. So when you consume them, the fats are balanced perfectly and our bodies absorb them and utilize them without having to do anything else with them. Eggs, farm-raised chickens that are able to go out and peck at the ground. The yolks found in farm-raised chickens, farm-raised chickens, that also has the perfect blend of omega-6, omega-3 fatty acids. That's why your grass-fed chickens, or whatever they're called, range-fed chickens, have such beautiful eggs. Unlike caged chickens, that whole 3 and 6 is all messed up. The fats found in caged birds is very, very different from those from free-range birds. Let's see, they're easy to cook with, easy to bake. And again, these are the hemp seeds. You lose more weight when eating hemp seeds daily. They're a great thing to have in the afternoon to give you energy. The hemp seed contains 18 key amino acids, including 10 essential fatty acids. That's huge from a protein perspective. That is very, very important to your diet. Hemp seed oil is as beneficial as fish oil without the mercury. And hemp are an excellent source of calcium, iron, phosphorus, magnesium, zinc, copper, manganese, and they do not trigger celiac disease. And as far as the chia seeds, about the same. Chias have got tons of all kinds of good stuff in them. They are the richest source of omega-3 fatty acids. What else? They're great for your brain. They have a low glycemic index. They reduce your craving for sweets. And they have 5 times more calcium than milk, 2 times more potassium than bananas, 3 times more iron than spinach, and 3 times more antioxidants than blueberries. That's in that little chia seed. So I thought that was all pretty cool stuff. The quick little buzz on fiber. I'm not going to elaborate on fiber. If you're eating a diet that's based in real foods, real plant-based products, you can't get fiber from any animal product or fat. It's only from plant-based. Fiber is the indigestible, insoluble, and soluble, the 2 types of fiber that we cannot digest that passes through our digestive tract. The soluble fiber plays a role, and that's found in oat products. You kind of have to read a little bit. I know it's in apple peel, it's pectin. I'm sure it's in the peel of an orange, the white stuff. But the point is, soluble fiber will go into your digestive tract, and LDL cholesterol hangs out in your digestive tract. It's what it does. Once you consume the foods, It's in there waiting to get back into the bloodstream, because if you pass through the membrane and get into your bloodstream, therefore elevating your LDL. Soluble fiber comes along like HDL, the healthy cholesterol. One of the jobs of HDL is to bind to it in your intestinal tract, to bind to the bad cholesterol, and HDL cholesterol takes it back to the liver to be recycled. Soluble fiber takes it out of the digestive tract, so it can't go back in. So that's the claim to fame on soluble fiber. Insoluble is like the broom. It sweeps the digestive tract out, and it takes the LDL cholesterol and all the other crap build up in there, if you will. It takes that stuff out. Our digestive tract needs to be stimulated that way. And that's why people that have a very poor diet have very poor intestines. And that's where you're going to find, and some things are genetic and you can't avoid it, well, but you can still make it better even if you have it. People who have a diet that's based on refined foods have digestive issues. Why do you think we have all the celiacs, all the allergies, all these things going on? Huge relationship to the lack of fiber. My feelings on fiber found in Fiber One products, eat the real stuff. You get nutritional value from the real stuff. You do not get nutritional value from the type of fiber they're putting into Fiber One bars and into Fiber One products. Fiber One yogurt. I read years ago, there was a story in one of the nutrition magazines I was reading, and it said that it had the top 10 things that were listed in foods for fiber, and one was sawdust. And I wish I had that article, but I don't have it anymore. So that the point is, food industry. So I'm not a fan of Fiber One products. I just, too much fiber at one time. And I remember eating one bar one time, and it was horrible what it did to my stomach. Okay, so superfoods, fiber, flexibility, set next week's goal. It's been 2 weeks yet. Come on, you guys. Ooh, it's getting pretty. Work hard. You've done so well. Summer is right around the corner. Really, it is. So getting into just another size is a nice thing. Those are all bonuses. We all know that. So set your goals next week. Keep that focus. And even for the people that are coming in like, I had a bad Saturday, I was so bad. You still are changing your habits, and there still can be good things, even if the scale isn't telling it. But I still see people that are losing weight because they're doing so many other things right that they forget that they're doing. The Easter Sunday meal, sodium laced, high sodium meal, cheesy potatoes, ham, green bean casserole. Eat sparingly on those. The Easter candy, don't.
Hughes's candy.
Hughes, I worked there for Christmas season one time. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the Hughes, that's okay. Indulge a little bit, but not too much. No
Dark.
Girl Scout
Dark.
cookies.
No, I
Dark.
don't like
Love Hughes chocolates, it's the best. So the whole point of the flexibility routine, very easy to follow. Flexibility is such an important part of your fitness, your health, wellness program, because keeping your tissue healthy, that's what flexibility is going to help. It's going to help you to have the range of motion through your shoulders because you keep the muscles and the tendons loose enough. If I go into a calf stretch like this, here's the big deal about it. Number one, I'm stretching out the entire muscles in the back of my calf. When you stretch out, fascia is what encases like a sausage. It encases your muscles. It can get really bound up. And when it gets bound up, the muscle gets bound up. So when we stretch, we increase the surface area of muscle and of fascia and of tendons. So when blood flow goes past in the bloodstream, then you've got a two-way streak going on. Your muscle is now able to get the oxygen and nutrition into it because of the greater surface area. And secondly, your muscles get to get rid of the buildup of toxic whatever. After exercise, lactic acid, that's why you stretch. And this is a great little stretching program. When you look at surface area, when you think of our digestive tract, it has all those little convolutions. I can't think of what they're called. There's a specific name for them. But that's what surface area is all about. Because if we had the surface area of our intestinal tract without those convolutions, it would be, you could stretch it from here to there. Going on a tangent again. But so that's your whole point of flexibility. Hold your stretches 13, or I'm done talking today. 13 seconds, not 15 or 12. 15 seconds to 30 seconds. That is at the point the Golgi response, Golgi tendon response happens, and that's when it releases and you can get more gain. Okay, done talking. Any questions? Congratulations to all of you. Keep it moving. I hope you're getting good information amongst the nonsense, but you're always going to get that.